welcome to the Gagootz Show on our new couch in a new studio with our special guest tonight. We have Alan Scott and Joey Cola.
Woo!
Yeah.
It's going to be a really exciting show.
Real exciting show. Nicole and I have a big surprise that we're going to tell you all about. So welcome to the Gagootz Show and my wonderful wonderful host, Nicole Monaco.
Thank you very much.
I can't call you the co-host. You're the host.
They call me the hostess with the mostess. Anyway, well, we're going to discuss with you guys that last time we had the boys from Jersey who won our competition for our video contest that we had running for a little while, and we're going to be doing another contest. So if you want to submit some of your videos, if you do stand-up, if you do any kind of song parodies, anything that you find silliness in and things that bring smiles to other people's faces, feel free to send us a video because we're going to be having another competition, and we'll give some great prizes afterwards, like, you know, Tic Tacs.
No, we gave out some pretty good prizes.
I'm kidding.
So this video competition, it's a video contest that is, it's entertainment. It doesn't have to be, it has to be something entertaining that you said puts a smile on our face.
Right. We want to laugh at it. Like, don't send us, like, your colonoscopy video. You know, the video you get from that. We don't want that.
Or we don't want to see your, your baby in the,
the
sonogram.
Yeah,
we don't want the sonogram.
The ultrasound.
Ultrasound.
We're good on that. But yeah, so we're going to have another contest, and we're looking forward to it.
I'm excited, yeah.
They're always fun, because you know what? Every time we get a new video in, it gives us something to look forward to as well. Not only just to our guests, it's new for us too. So we get to see, you know, what you guys are using your creativity with.
And if you don't live in the area, like we've had comedians from Florida, California, from
all
Jersey.
Over, wherever you're from, just submit them to us, and we'll get them.
Submit them, and you submit them to email us at the Gagootz Show at Hotmail. Gagootz Show at hotmail.com.
Right.
I don't even at hotmail.com, and just send it to us as an attachment, and then we will we'll air it with your name and all your information, and you'll be on television.
Yep. So
easy as that.
What's going on in your week? You got a show tomorrow night, right?
I have a show tomorrow. I'm hosting a comedy showcase at On the Waterfront, which is going to be every other Wednesday as a comedy showcase. Tony Landolfi is the headliner.
Right.
Kathy Arnold. Who else? Jessica Colazzo. It's going to be a wild, crazy show.
It's going to be a good show.
Frank Macri, Rudy Fusco, and Richie Ragu, who's the chef there, he'll be cooking, and he'll be cooking on stage.
That's it. He'll be sizzling.
He'll be sizzling.
And you're hosting.
And I'm the host.
Right.
I'll be hosting the show.
Every show that they do.
They ask me to host all the shows. They like the way I did it. They like.
You did a great job.
Kept it in line because, you know, they're starting out with doing comedy. They have a lot of entertainment there. On the weekends, they have some great music, but they're doing comedy in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
And that's nice. You have some shows coming up.
I have a show on Friday at Sea Cove in Santa Mauritius. That it'll be myself, John Butera, John LaRocchia, Tony Landolfi is actually headlining that show as well, and myself headlining. I mean, hosting.
You're hosting.
Yeah, I'm not headlining. Don't get that wrong. Yeah, so I'll be hosting. So it's going to be.
That'll be fun.
And Tim Thompson also.
Tim Thompson's on the show.
Yes. So it's going to be a good little, you know, dinner, food. It's $40 a person. You come in, you get a buffet, and then you get the show. So it's going to be a good turnout, hopefully, you know. Yep. Oh. So we have that going on, and then the next two shows. I have a show May 29th at the Villa Monaco, which is also same deal, $40 buffet dinner, and then but following that show, the same night, I'll be at the Brokerage on Kathy Arnold's show. It's called a One Night Stand show, and that'll be at 10:30. So that's gonna be fun too.
Wow, that'll be fun doing two shows.
Yeah,
that's
finish
fun.
one, run to the next. You know.
I did that at the Holiday Inn one time. There was two rooms. They had a fundraiser going on in one room and another show going on, and there were two bars. So
really?
Oh man, what a fun show that was.
All right, well, we're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with our guests. And you better keep your Depends on, because you're going to be laughing your butts off.
So Depends keep your butt on? Is that what it does?
We'll be right back.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do dogs chase cats?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Welcome to the Rehab Center located at 2025 Brentwood Road in Brentwood, New York. At the center, we offer chiropractic services, acupuncture, and physical therapy. We take most major medical, no-fault, and workers' comp insurance. If you need these types of services, contact the offices at 631-234-4949. That's 631-234-4949.
And we're back with a very special guest. He's been on Letterman, Comedy Central. I'm not going to remember everything. He's been a stand-up Tonight Show.
Warm-up comedian.
Warm-up comedian.
For Martha, for Rosie, for Rachel
But
Ray.
I was going to say, been a stand-up comedian
America's
for
Got Talent.
33 years. 23 years doing studio warm-ups. Ladies and gentlemen, Joey Cole.
Hey! Would be funny if the whole interview was just me going, hey! At different levels, because you'll know exactly the difference of what I'm saying, too.
So, yeah, every question.
Hey! I just say, hey, remember Dave Hawthorne used to say walrus?
Yeah, walrus, right.
Walrus. He used to do a bit, and just after every line in his bit, he would just go walrus. And at first you were like, what is this guy doing? But after like the 10th time, you were laughing hysterically because he'd just go walrus. He'd just make the word
With
walrus.
the hands, too. He would do
Yeah,
this
he'd go
thing.
like this. He'd go walrus. That's it.
And then all of us, during that time, we would talk to each other and just occasionally say, walrus.
Walrus. For no reason at all.
This was before my time, wasn't it?
Way before your time.
Yeah.
You're young. You're super young. You're the new generation of stand-up comics on Long
Yeah.
Island. So I'm like considered like a granddad.
No,
now.
it's
Yeah.
a pleasure to have you here
That-
with us.
well,
Oh,
thank
it's
you.
great.
I'm
How-
like,
Yeah.
had
You
to
remember
come
all
down.
the great times.
Yeah. What's your phone ringing?
Yeah.
This is
Hello? wait, all right.
Wait.
all right. His phone's ringing. The cameraman's phone's ringing. He's not even here to
He's
answer
not
it.
even here to answer.
You know they actually
But
made
he's got good hair, that guy.
this beat, they actually made a song in like a club now when you go to the club and you dance. This song
Really?
is beaten
To that?
to that ringtone.
Why
And it's
not?
just like
Are
If
there
they
lyrics
could-
to
if
it?
they could like blend that.
and it worked. I was like, all right, here I am dancing to this ringtone cell phone.
There you go. It's
And there
funny.
should be lyrics like, answer your phone, you mama Luke.
There you go. I can picture you dancing too. You got the hair and everything.
Yeah, I'm
I
crazy
totally
dancing.
hung out with people like you when I used to go to the dance clubs
Then
in the 80s.
in the
You know, so are we getting? Oh, they're
Get your
okay.
back
We're
up
over
Yeah,
off
there.
yeah,
the
yeah.
wall. That was
Yeah.
one of your
Get
jokes.
your back up off the wall and dance. I was a dance guy. Yeah.
I know that thing with your neck. That was from dancing. That's amazing how you did.
Keep the shoulders still and just let the neck go.
So I have questions for
Okay.
you because like I don't ever get this opportunity to just
I'll
shoot
answer
it with
whatever
you
you
know?
got.
So you've been doing comedy, you said
34 years.
Okay.
Yeah, started 80, 81, like
Now,
that. Yeah.
what made you get into comedy?
Well,
Where did
when
it
I was a
start for
little
you?
kid, our family parties. My Uncle Ralph used to play guitar, and my mother and father would sing, and all my aunts and uncles would either sing or tell jokes or whatever. We had a microphone there because of my Uncle Ralph, who's still around. He's in his 70s. He still plays guitar, and he plays like an organ at the family parties and stuff. And the third, fourth generation kids sing with him and dance with him. But when I was a little kid, they'd hand me a microphone. Joey, tell a joke. Joey, sing a song. And I realized doing that, I got attention from the adults, you
Yeah.
know, and that's what we do this for. We got attention.
Of course.
We want to get fulfilled somehow, you know. So for a little at a young age, I got that attention. And then in high school, I was kind of quiet, but when I told jokes and stuff, then I would get attention. So I kept doing it, and then I figured, people are doing this for a living. Oh my God, I do it at family parties. And then I worked at Augie's Baking Company in Hop Hog while I was going to CW Post and while I was doing audition nights and stuff. And it was my first real gig at the Lockfield Manor in East Northport, or Northport, you know. And when I started doing stand-up at the East Side Comedy Club, Richard M. Dixon's, I went to Pips in Brooklyn, and I went to the Improv in New York, and I started doing the city clubs as well as the Long Island clubs. Then I realized if you want to make money, you got to go on the road. So I started driving to the road gigs, and I slept in a cornfield one night. And my friend Scott Anderson, he was good friends with Dan O'Shannon, who's like a big producer now of big shows. They were at the East Side Comedy Club. I said, "How do you do the road, man? How do you do the road?" Because they're from Cleveland and they're performing on Long Island.
Right.
And they said, "Well, you know, you perform in certain places. Somebody hands you a card, and they said, 'Hey, you're pretty funny. Come to my club. Come to my club.' Or you can just go to the club and do an audition night." I said, "Why don't I work the club in Cleveland, Dino Vince's club, the Cleveland Comedy Club?" So I said, I called him up, and I said to the guy, "I want to, audition." He says, "We got to come here." So I couldn't have enough money to fly myself or anything, so I drove in like 1985. I just got a 1985 Nissan Sentra. Yeah, I picked up one night as all through Pennsylvania. And I didn't have enough money for a hotel one night, so I drove as late as I could, 2 o'clock in the morning, got tired, pulled the car into a cornfield, shut it off, slept, sun came up, backed it out of the cornfield, kept on my way. Got to the club, did 5 minutes. The guy said he liked me and he wanted me to come back, but I found out that there was a lot of drugs around. And it was like the 80s, there was a lot of drugs, a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, I think there was drugs everywhere.
At that point, yeah, comics and everybody else. It was like, it turned out to be a place that I really didn't want to work, and I didn't want to drive there, once or twice a year to go do it. So, and that club went by the wayside anyway, so.
Yeah.
So that's, did I answer your question?
Yeah,
I forgot what
you
your
did.
question
It was how did you start? And I think that led right up to it.
I mean, that's the short version of it, but a lot has happened in between those nooks and
Of course,
crannies.
yeah.
He was doing the ground round circuit.
Oh my God! This guy named Lou Stevens used to book. Remember Lou Stevens?
Yeah,
big
yeah,
guy?
big,
Remember
yeah.
we played the guitar? Squeeze the fish, squeeze the fish. Had a guy put a squeaky fish between his legs and squeeze the fish. He'd bring people on stage and he'd tell silly jokes, and he was like a real character guy. I mean, if Lou was alive today, he'd be at this place doing his own show, I bet you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Real character guy. And he booked the ground round was like a place where you'd have like burgers and fries and peanut shells on the floor.
Yeah, I remember.
So I would be, I'd go to school, and then I'd be bingo to clown during the day for kids' parties. And I thought it was a great idea. Oh, let me put a big rubber band tied to the back of my belt with like a rubber glove blown up. But these kids figured out that when they pulled it, it would like snap me in the ass. So it was like I was like, whoa, whoa. So I was bingo to clown during the day. Then I'd go home, change, set up the sound equipment, and do stand up at the ground round, Bayshore, Port Jeff, all over the place for
He
$40.
had all the ground rounds on
Yeah,
Long Island.
yeah.
And there was one in East Northport, too. I love that place.
Yeah. So we do stand up there.
I remember one time we were doing a gig Steve got for us with the male dancers. Male dancers, and we would do an MC. So Joey was the main guy. But
Carlos Marchand.
Yeah, Dancation. And when Joey would pass some of those gigs off to me. And one time there was a Jewish family in a nice restaurant. They wanted someone to come in a gorilla costume and go there in a gorilla costume, then take the head off and tell jokes.
Okay.
So Joey didn't want to do it. So he said to me, so I called him up. I said, all right, I'll do it. But I said, they want me to tell Jewish jokes. What kind of jokes for this man's like 60th birthday? So Joe, you said to me, and I'll never forget, you said, just keep saying L'chaim. Just
go,
say
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Everything will be fine. Shalom and L'chaim.
Yeah.
Everything will be fine.
He said, just say, and it paid good.
Yeah.
Back then it paid
Yeah.
like $65.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to go.
We would do anything if it meant getting a laugh. Like I had to wear that same suit, but we got it from Carlos Marchand from Dancation, remember?
Yeah.
And he had a van, and he was married to his wife's name was Gigi. He had a daughter named Gigi. There was 40 Gigi's.
Everyone
It was
in the
Carlos
family.
and his whole fleet of Gigi's, and we'd go work for him. Like we'd do these private parties, and then we'd do male dance shows and stuff. We'd MC him, and he'd come out. But he had that gorilla outfit that also had an attachment to it of a private part attachment. So I had the gorilla outfit in my car, and my friends was my friend's mother's like 60th birthday or something like that, and they wanted me to show up and do like a sing and telegram thing with the gorilla outfit. Didn't realize that the attachment was still on, and I show up at the restaurant coming in and going, oh my god, because I just shoved it on quick. I just put it on and didn't realize it. And my friend comes up to me. He goes, take the gorilla head off. I go, why? What's the matter? He gets ready to get in the bathroom and goes, look. And I look down, and there's a big gorilla, thing flopping and going, and all the old women are going, oh my god, oh my god. The men are laughing like crazy, but I detached it, and then it was anticlimactic at that point because once you have that on, once you lose it, it's like it's gone now. The damage is done. So
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
That's funny. Though.
yeah. So
so
that's it.
now we've mentioned that you were on Rosie and Martha and now Rachel Ray. How did that journey start?
That started with me. It was started originally with Jon Stewart because I worked with Jon Stewart in the clubs, and he had his own show on Channel 9 here in New York, WOR show. It was way before he had the Daily Show, and so he his manager was a guy named Segunda, Barry Segunda, and his sister was Ruth Ann Segunda, who was my agent over at Abrams at that time. I was with Jeff Sussman, who's Kevin James's manager. He manages Joe Rogan, and he had me, and he had Bob Nelson back then. And so Ruth Ann Segunda was my agent at Abrams. I was with William Morris. I was with Abrams. I was with J. Michael Bloom, a bunch of different agencies at the time. And Jon Stewart got the show. So Barry Segunda said, I got a guy to do the warm-up, and I think John knows him. So John suggested, let's have Joey come in. So I did warm-up for his show, which ironically is above where Rachel Ray is now. It's where the Wendy Williams show is now. That was like 22 years ago. And then there I am in the same building again for 10 years in a row, 7 with Martha and 3 with Rachel. But that's what I started. I did Jon Stewart's original show, and he had like great, he had big stars on, and Eddie Vedder was on.
Oh my God,
Eddie
I'm a
Vedder.
huge Pearl Jam fan. I
yeah.
have Pearl Jam lyrics tattooed to me.
Really?
I am obsessed.
Wow. I would no Joey Cola jokes tattooed.
No.
We'll work on that. I gotta get. You should have. That's what we should do. She's got Eddie Vedder.
I got white poop on me.
There you go. The white poop people go, what the hell is that? But I started with him, and then Rosie got a show. And then 3 other people were doing warm-up, and Rosie didn't really like them. And the 3rd day of Rosie's show, while I was doing Letterman, I just did my Letterman spot, June 13th, 1996. I do my Letterman spot, walk out of the theater, and Jeff, my manager, has one of those big cell phones, those big gray ones, and it rings, and it's Rosie. And Daniel Kellison, who was my original producer on the Letterman show, who went over to executive produce Rosie, and then Zoe Friedman, Bud Friedman's daughter, produced me on Letterman, called and said it was Rosie. He said, could you come over and warm up the show tomorrow? I said, what kind of show is it going to be? Very Merv Griffin, very Mike Douglas. I said, sure. From that point on, 6 years at Rosie.
So now, what's the difference between doing your stand-up and warming up the crowd?
Nice. That's a good question, because not a lot of people ask that, and there's a big difference. When I warm up a TV show, I'm welcoming the audience into somebody else's living room, your living room. Nicole LaMonaco's show. Hey guys, welcome. Are you ready to see Nicole? Yeah. So I set them up for you.
Right.
But when I do stand-up, it's about me.
Right.
So they're coming to see me. So I get to say what I want, do what I want, and I run my own situation. But when I'm warming up somebody else's show, I kind of got to greet. I'm like the butler. I'm the hospitality guy. I'm the rodeo clown.
Right.
Protect the host and make them look great, as well as helping to let your audience have the best time they can.
Yeah, and do you find it, have you ever had any hecklers like in the audiences at all?
At the TV shows?
Yeah.
Nah, we got big security there and everything like that. They're not, it's a different head. They're all like, oh my God, it's TV. What are we getting? Are we getting a toaster? You know what I mean? Like that. That's different.
Right.
So, like on TV, we have a commercial break.
A commercial break?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what's it for? Is it for Tide? I wash my clothes in Tide. You know why? Too cold out Tide.
That's a joke.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right
Gagootz
back.
Show.
Maybe.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do dogs chase cats?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
Back here on the Gagootz Show.
Lounging on the Gagootz Show.
Lounging on our new couch that we
And-
just got at Raymore and Flanagan's. No, we didn't.
I like Raymore. I hate Flanagan.
Me too.
Flanagan's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to introduce our other guest who's here, Alan Scott. I can't remember this intro, so I'm just going to... You've been working on stage for over 30 years, including national tours and Hershey Park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you started doing stand-up one winter because it was too cold to do anything else.
True.
You perform at the Stand, Eastville Comedy Club, Greenwich Village Comedy Club, Broadway Comedy Club, as well as Governors in Levittown. You love horses, long walks on the beach, and hope to meet that special someone without having to join another online dating site. Okay, and you'll
That
be
just might have happened.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
Well, you know.
You like horseback riding too, Joey?
Jon Stewart's one of my favorites, so you know.
There you go.
3 degrees separation.
And you're performing Mary Poppins this
No,
summer.
no, I'm performing Bert. There's a woman
You're
performing
Bert.
Mary Poppins.
You're not going to be
It's
Mary
not that type of production.
Oh, that's why Joey you like it.
Yeah,
That's why
well-
Joey had an affection
No,
for
the
you.
Mary
Yeah.
Poppins, I would be the Penguins.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's who I would be.
That'd be great. Dude, we're looking for some guys, you know.
There you go.
You tap?
All right. I can go like that. It's only like tapping I do.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it. Well, it's good to be here.
Yeah,
Good to-
thank you for
good to see
coming.
you. Nicole,
I wouldn't-
nice to
Nice to see you. Now, you've been
Joey.
Good to see you, man.
Right, thank you.
doing acting and stand-up and everything well over 30 years, it said.
Yeah, the stand-up is actually relative. I've been doing stand-up in my head for the past 30 years.
Okay.
And it was just one of those that I decided to feed the fear as long as I possibly could before getting up there. And finally, I just ran out of excuses and had to do it.
So now how
I
long
love
have you
that.
actually been doing stand-up?
About 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you find the same sort of fulfillment that you get from stand-up versus doing acting?
It, as Joey can probably say, it's scarier to do the stand-up because it's you up there.
Yeah.
And not, I can't hide behind a character like as Bert. All the lines are already written for me. All I have to do is learn how to spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and I'm good to go. And if something goes wrong, if somebody doesn't laugh at one of the lines, well, maybe it wasn't written funny or it wasn't attacked properly, but if you're writing your own stuff and they don't laugh, it's you up there.
Yeah,
So it's a lot scarier to do that.
absolutely.
And the one thing with acting, you have that fourth wall,
Yes.
right? You have that with stand-up comedy, that fourth wall goes up and down
Then sometimes they
Because-
talk back. And
because you're doing your act. So when you're involved in a bit, there's the fourth wall is there. But you have
When I do stand up, there's no wall. I have no wall. I just want everybody's as one. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
what I like. It's just the way I attack it.
yeah, exactly. It's a lot more. Once I got used to that fact, it was a lot easier. Like somebody one time called out, like, is your ex-wife here? I was doing a bit about my ex-wife,
Right.
and he said, "Is she here?" I said, "Why? You looking for a date?" And so I was like, you had to go with it, and then you have to go back to your material. Whereas in a script, sometimes if somebody throws you, people are like, "Line," I don't do that.
Yeah.
Some people do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask, Joey, you've been doing comedy for 34 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you practice before a show? Do you?
No, not really. I'll listen to a good song. Music always helps. You
But
know,
you won't do
but,
a run through on.
No, I'll figure out what I want to talk about. I got my notepad that I've been carrying. You know, I fill it up with stuff, and I always have a pen in my pocket. I figure out what I want to talk about now. What's happening in the news? What am I passionate about now? I think about that. You know, and then I also think. Then I think about my act. Which parts of my act that I'm passionate about that I really want them to hear. I really want to tell these people my story, and that's the way I look at it. Even if I'm acting in in a play or not that I've done that in a while, but I'm doing a movie over the summer soon, and I'm thinking about this character now, how I'm going to make this character real and make the audience like this character, you know. So
Now, for both of you, you've both done acting. I've done very little acting, but it's fun to explore that end of it too, where you get to create this person that isn't you at all, and you get to just like live out this kind of dream sequence fantasy of a person else. That
Right.
it's a lot of fun to do that.
Well, that
I
is
mean,
good. What you said is like very key there, because a lot of actors, you have to do the backstory. You have to figure out who this character is.
right.
I do not like going to a show where people have learned all their words and think they're doing a great job.
Right.
If they don't have a backstory, like if an actor comes in to walk onto the stage to get something, I was like, well, why did the actor come on stage? Was it to get that? How did they know it was there? All of a sudden, they need a reason to come in. Were they coming in because they forgot their keys, and while they were there, they noticed this? Or, you know, that type of thing, some
little
depth to it.
subtleties. Yeah.
More than just the lines.
Right, we didn't just walk in this door and walk down over here and sit on this comfy couch. You know, and we did things before the show started. We parked our car. We talked in the parking lot. We met Joey Cole. We met Nicole. You know, we posted things on Facebook. There was a whole backstory to it.
And
Now
when you're
you
in the
know.
moment, everything's a gift too. You know, you learn. I was Meisner trained by Joanna Bexon in New York, and like the couch is a gift. You guys are a gift as an actor. You use everything in the scene to build that character and give the backstory. You know, so you know why you're grabbing that can of beer rather than a glass of water. Right. You know what I mean? Like if I grab the water and I eat celery, that tells a lot more about the character than if I grab a beer and I got a cheeseburger. You know?
Exactly.
So.
Right.
Exactly.
It's
Well said.
Now you're going to be in the production of Mary Poppins.
Right.
Can you let us know and let our fans know where and how they could catch you?
It's going to be in the Basking Ridge Amphitheater in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, in 3 weekends in July. But you can go to trilogyrepertory.com, and that has all the dates and everything on there for the performances.
And that's in New Jersey.
It's in New Jersey. Yeah, it's an outdoor theater. It's free. That's a good thing. You know, for a lot
That's
of
going
people.
to be fun
Yeah,
outside.
yeah, and it's the first time when I got the libretto, which is like the script and the music and everything like that. She gave me and it was brand new. I mean, like no one has used this. I think we were the first ones to do it since the Broadway production. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is like untouched by human hands. It was like awesome.
Yeah. Now, now you've done plays, film, and stand-up. What do you enjoy the most to do?
As Joey said, I love the stage because you have that appreciation, that applause. You say a joke that kills, and you can't trade that feeling for anything in the world. TV and film is great because you can mess up as much as you want, and they can say, okay, let's do it again. We're still rolling. You know, after a while, they get upset if you do 34 takes. But, you know, usually 3 or 4 takes, you got it, everything is great. And then it's a perfect product that you can keep. I was in a TV movie for Cablevision in Woodbridge many, many years ago with my mother. And we found this videotape the other day. We put it in. It was called Condolences. It played a Woodbridge cable, I don't know how many years ago, but it was just so funny to watch this.
Yeah.
And I remember how many takes that was. And the people came in. They couldn't remember to introduce themselves. and it was so much fun. But when you watch the final product, it's perfect.
Right.
You know? So I like that type of thing, the perfection of TV and film.
Yeah.
And now you're involved in this movie project.
Yeah, a couple of friends of mine and I wrote this movie. It's I can't mention a lot of it here.
Right.
It's not exactly G-rated, but it's very Hot Tub Time Machine, very Hangover. We're going to be shooting a lot of it in July and August here on Long Island. It'll be fun.
Oh, that's
That-
awesome.
Low budget, independent film, but it's going to be really funny.
Oh, it's going to be very funny.
There'll be goats involved and men.
Goats and men.
Yeah.
Sounds like my Saturday night.
That's all I can tell you.
Sounds like the Italian army.
Yeah.
Well, there was that other movie with George Clooney, The Men Who Talk to Goats, I think it was called.
Really?
Did you see that one?
No.
Yeah, they were
Oh,
military
yeah, I've heard of that.
guys.
He was
Yeah, yeah.
hypnotized the
Yeah,
goats.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
some military experiment.
Him and I have the same birthday and we're the same age.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Really?
We're
Okay.
like twins. Look.
Wow.
I could
I
see
thought
it.
you
You can see that.
Yeah, you have the same
separated
birthday.
at birth.
Yeah,
Another movie.
exactly.
Yeah. It's like twins. That-
Joey Clooney.
Yes.
Joey Clooney.
That's the way it should be.
Georgie Cola.
Yeah, there you go.
Georgie Cola. Georgie Cola. Who knows?
Somebody once called me that, Joe E. coli.
Oh, geez, really?
I'm like, that's a disease. E. coli is a disease.
Right.
We saw Joe E. coli at this club last night.
Right.
Yeah. So people mess up my name. They think I'm the toilet bowl
Mm-hmm.
people, and so KOLA. It's simple. If anything, they think I'm Hawaiian or a little teddy bear. That's all.
Well, that's like President
Cola.
President Ebola. You know,
President
came from
Ebola.
Hawaii.
That's
from Hawaii. You know?
Yeah.
President Ebola. So,
So
good.
she's
So
looking at me.
yeah.
to-
No, I'm just hanging out. We're hanging out.
What's
Yeah,
next?
yeah,
You don't
yeah.
have a list of questions?
I do.
I'm not coming back here again, dude.
You're coming
Where's
back,
those
I thought.
questions?
I
Actually, I
thought-
want to be here every show, every Tuesday.
I would
I'd like
love for you
back.
to come
Love
back
that.
every
That would
Tuesday.
be
We would
great.
love that. And we have a show planned. We have a Gagootz Show where we're going to, what?
The improv.
We're going to do an improv
should
show.
come.
Are you really?
You should come for
Do
that
they
one.
know what Gagootz means, your audience? Do they know what that
Yeah,
is?
well, we talk
Are there
about it
Italian
on
people
occasionally.
watching this?
We do bring it up occasionally, not every episode. but
All
if
right,
you
it's a
don't know-
Gagootz, it's a zucchini.
It's
a-
but it's a special Italian long zucchini.
very,
very
and
long
no one
zucchini.
grows them like you.
No.
Nobody.
Excuse me.
I know.
No.
What?
My
you know?
Uncle Frank. My Uncle
Everybody's
Frank.
got an Uncle Frank.
My Uncle Frank grows these Gagootz like you've never seen before.
Gagootz like him, Gagootz?
It-
Why? Because you've seen them, the pictures.
Yeah, of course.
Now,
Yeah,
hold on,
yeah.
hold on. Does he have his own show?
No.
All right, so
Uncle
no
Frank
one
does
grows.
not have a show.
But that's
You know
why.
what? We're gonna do a segment on the show. It's gonna be we're gonna have the Gagootz off, and it's gonna be your Gagootzes against my Uncle
And
Frank's.
your
Everybody's
uncle's
Gagootz.
Gagootz. All right.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to do one thing here. I want to do one thing just to
Yes.
make this show as best as can be. I just want to. She reacted. We talked about the club stuff before, so right away. It's like
It's like that's what the can I see that? How do you
it's
do
an
that?
app. It's just
Yeah.
an app. Just press the.
It's like you're trying to listen to a song on the radio, and the DJ's like, bow, 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 bow.
Yeah,
bow,
yeah,
bow,
yeah.
bow. They're rapping, they're
It's
singing
that
a song
late
like,
night-
it's Saturday night, and we're doing bow, 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 bow. I can't. Just let
I
me
wanted to
enjoy
do that
this
once
song.
during the interview. That's it.
I did it like
They
17
do
times.
that
it
at the
upside
clubs
down.
now. That's what they
Yeah.
On the radio, when
Oh, on
you're
the radio.
driving to go somewhere, and DJ Funkmaster Flex is
Yes.
doing his thing, and you're driving, you're like, oh, I like this song, and you're like, it's genuine. It's like, ride that pony, bah, 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 bah. Like you just want to enjoy the song,
Yeah.
you know?
You just keep putting horns in.
Yeah, that's all.
What inspires you to write new material? When you write new material, how are you inspired?
Something that usually gets me angry, right?
Yeah.
Like something that really ticks me off.
Yeah.
Like the last thing I wrote yesterday was, I wish I was a baby again, because when you're young, when you're a baby or an infant, when you're young, people will pick you up and smell your diaper to see if you've gone to the bathroom or not, and if you have, they'll change you. Is that the greatest thing in the world? The only thing that changes when you get older is that they don't have to really pick you up or get too near to know if you've gone, and they won't change you. If I saw this lady, I was like in a restaurant somewhere, and this woman just grabbed this kid and went, "Yeah, we got to change him." Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Like, you just ate. You just ate. You know what that's a sense. That's a thing, a power you have to have that overrides all your other senses. Like, that would totally ruin my meal. Wouldn't that ruin your meal?
I wouldn't be able to do
I'm
it.
one of the parents who did that. It was more like this, like, oh yeah, here, honey, change him.
Yeah.
That's how I was like.
But yeah, no.
You didn't change diapers?
No, I did. I was actually the stay-at-home dad, and
Ah,
my wife
okay.
worked. She was a chemist with a master's degree,
And that's why I don't have children.
There you go.
And
I
that's
changed
why-
diapers. That's how I learned not to bite my fingernails.
Oh my God. We're going to take a quick break on that note.
Thank you,
We'll be
Richie
right back.
Minamini.
Oh yeah, that's Richie's.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. You're watching The Gagootz Show.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do dogs chase cats?
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Welcome to the Rehab Center located at 2025 Brentwood Road in Brentwood, New York. At the center, we offer chiropractic services, acupuncture, and physical therapy. We take most major medical, no-fault, and workers' comp insurance. If you need these types of services, contact the offices at 631-234-4949. That's 631-234-4949.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
We're back on the Gagootz Show with our guests, Joey Cola, Alan Scott, myself, Nicole Monaco, and of course, Benny Rizzuti. So we wanted to mention a few things. I know you wanted to ask Joey about the book.
Yeah, Joey, a friend of ours just came out with a book.
Yep, our common friend, Steve O.
Steve Oakes.
Steve Oakes, as he goes by now.
He goes by the name Steve Oakes, O-C-H-S. And
Yeah.
he just,
It's called Mid-Men.
Mid-Men.
Yeah,
And
like Mad Men.
Right.
But it's mid-men. It's about men in like midlife crisis.
And if you watch
Just went
our
to
show,
#1.
Steve O actually put in one of his videos. You might have seen him doing his stand-up through our
Oh,
contest.
the thing we did years ago.
In
yeah.
the video contest,
Yeah.
Steve-O was that was the first comedy talk show on Long Island for
right.
cable.
Yeah, and Melvin George was a part of it. But it's called Mid-Men. It just went to #1 on Amazon.
That's
and
great.
You can get it for 99 cents for a limited time. But the proceeds from that book go to helping people in Nepal from the earthquake.
Oh,
so
that's
Yeah,
great.
it goes to Habitat for Humanity to help those people. So thank you,
wow.
Steve, and go get that Mid-Men book, people. It's a funny
That's it.
book.
Steve-O, great man. Steve-O and I, we were roommates too. We shared an
Right.
apartment for a few years.
In Bayshore,
also.
right? Yeah.
In Islip.
Islip, okay.
In Islip,
Yeah.
we shared an apartment for
Yeah.
a few years, and it was fun. It was, and he was a headliner. He was on Star Search. You were on Star Search.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
I actually coached him out there on Star Search, and I was on a few years later. I lost to Melvin George.
Who's another good friend
Yeah,
of ours.
we went to the semifinals. You know, it was fun. Star Search was like American Idol for like comedians and dancers and singers and stuff.
I have a question.
So.
That's like you guys were doing this. When was this? When you were doing Star Search? Was it-
80s,
Okay.
late 80s.
Yeah,
like,
lady.
First, you guys came in a different generation of comedy. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like, do you find that it's harder now for people to pursue comedy than it was in the 80s, or it's just as difficult? Or
I just think it's different. You know, it's different. How long have you been doing stand-up?
Right now, it's been almost about 2 years.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I mean, I've noticed, like, back in the day, there were a few comedy clubs here and there. Rascals Comedy Club was in Montclair. It's not there anymore. Now it just seems like there's so many comics out there pursuing it. I mean, I
Well,
don't know if
there's
you've
people
noticed
calling
it.
themselves comics.
Exactly. That's
It's
my
easy
point.
to say I'm a comedian.
Yeah, it's like
and,
anybody
and,
thinks
and
they
then
can-
they go, "What are you doing during the day?" You know what I mean? So,
Right.
to me, when you're a comic. You're a comic. That's all I've done since 1981. Stand-up comedy. I worked at an Italian Bird Factory, and because I met Dom DeLuise, and he said backstage at Westbury, and I said, Dom, I want to be a comedian. What do I do? He said, you want to be a comedian? Don't work in a florist. I was like, what does that mean? You don't like flowers? But then I realized it means just go do it, and do it 24/7. And, you know, if you want to be a working comic, like, there's a lot of comics that go, oh, I can't work the comedy clubs on Long Island because the guy doesn't like me and it's politics. First of all, it's not politics. If you're funny, you're going to get booked because they need funny people to make their audiences laugh, A. And B, that's only 3 clubs on Long Island. If you want to be a working comic, you got to do 25 clubs twice a year. And that's without television, casinos, private gigs, you know, all that other stuff. So if you got 3 here, you got to get your ass on the road to get those other 22 clubs. That's why I still go to Milwaukee, Myrtle Beach, Baltimore. I still go all over because I work for a lot of the clubs that I've worked for over the years and new ones that hire you. And that's besides the private parties and the casinos and all that other stuff, you know.
Right.
And then you can call yourself a comedian.
Then you call yourself a working comedian.
A working
But there are
comedian,
people that they go up a little bit. They do a few shows here and there, and they go, "What do you do? I'm a comedian." What are you, in your mind?
Well, it's like the people who call themselves actors and all they do is community theater. I said, no, that's a hobby, and nothing wrong with community theater. I love it. It's a great place to learn and grow and stuff. It's like doing the free mics and things like that.
Yeah, you gotta
learn that way.
Immerse yourself in that business.
Yeah.
Like Rosie said on the show a couple times, and I saw some interviews with her, and she never gave herself a backup plan because she knew that she'd fall back on it. So she threw herself in, and she succeeded. She became Rosie O'Donnell,
I think she was Rosie O'Donnell before. It's not the Rosie O'Donnell.
Not the
I remember.
Yeah,
Rosie O'Donnell.
exactly.
The one thing though, during the time that these guys started, and I still, I don't consider myself a comedian, but I'm a guy that when I do perform stand-up, I want to be an accomplished perform comedy accomplished. But I'm not. But when I hung out with these guys, him and Steve, and it was a great time because we got to see so many people who did go on to Don McHenry, who went on to write for a couple of Walt Disney movies and be a writer.
Yeah.
The late Hal Spear, wonderful man, Hal Spear, who became a joke writer and wrote for Arsenio Hall.
You're explaining who these people are, and we know them, and I've laughed harder at the people that nobody knows. Like people that I call them non-coms, the audience or relatives that'll say, well, who makes you laugh? And I'll say, somebody, I'll go Chris Roach or somebody like that. They go, I never heard of him. Yeah, you know what? Most of the comics that make me laugh hard, nobody's ever heard of. Chances are, a lot of them, once they get famous, a lot of them lose their funny.
Right.
So they're not the ones that, Rich Jenny, when people say who your big influences, Rich Jenny, Richard Pryor, Richie Minervini, Dom Herrera, those are the ones people know. But the ones that make me laugh hard are the ones who are in the club that really nobody knows, that I like just seeing in a club situation. To me, it's 100 to 200 seats, low ceilings, potato skins, a greasy microphone. That's it. Club rat stuff, That's where life gets funniest. Not in theaters, not in the Comedy Central special, although I've done it, but it wasn't my greatest.
You weren't crazy about that?
No, my best shows come from doing 200-seat rooms with low ceilings. Did I do? Thank God I kill, and the audience goes, holy crap, we laughed our asses off, and then everybody just goes home. Nobody, and it's done. In 15 minutes, it's done. Those are the greatest shows, not killing on Comedy Central or killing on a big show. Great, 1 million people saw me. I killed on Fallon, and I got put my DVD on Amazon. I figured I'm going to sell 1 million. I didn't sell one. I figured, it's my big shot. I had fun doing it. Jimmy called me, he put me on the show, this and that. But it was good. It was a gig. It was a little nerve wracking, but it wasn't my favorite gig to do. Those have just got a lot of the high level ones of publicity, but they're not my favorite gigs to do. My favorite gigs to do are the clubs. Like I'm doing Uncle Vinny's in Point Pleasant, New Jersey.
You always talk about that place.
It's a little tiny room in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. I have a blast there. I only have to do like an hour, 45 minutes or an hour, but I wind up doing like an hour and 20, an hour and a half because I'm having so much fun doing it.
Right. Well, unfortunately, the time goes so fast here.
Are you telling me to leave?
Are we wrapping up already?
I don't like the way our host treated us.
I'm going to take a long walk on the beach.
I want to say something. Alan and I happen to like theaters, Alan books a show in a theater in Lindenhurst. It's called the
South Shore
Theater Experience, and it seats how many people?
I think about 50
now,
or
50
60
people, little.
But theater people who come to see the stand-up.
And
hosting a show this Saturday
I'll be on that show,
Yep.
and we have a few city comics are on there.
Yeah, we're bringing Sheila Smiley, Camille Theobald, Alan Streisfield, who's out here on the island, and we have Fudge the comedian coming in.
Fudge?
Fudge is coming in.
I love Fudge.
I love him.
Look at me.
So good.
How fat I am. Can you tell?
I remember I saw him at the
Elaine
club.
Witt is
we
the
have
other
to
one.
go? All
Elaine
right.
Witt is the other one.
All right,
so I
well,
believe
you
her.
guys-
Joey, I
Thank
hope
you
you
so
come
much
back
for tuning
soon.
in.
Alan,
Had a great
Joey's
time.
going to be here every week from now on.
And I'll be at the McGuire's Comedy Club
switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do dogs chase cats?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
I'm going to be at McGuire's Comedy Club Friday, June 19th.
Thank you for watching the Gagootz Show with Nicole and I. Have a great week. See you next Tuesday.
As Jeannie Powers would say. Good night, everyone.
Good
Thank
night,
you for
everyone.
watching.
Thank you.